What's happening, good people? Hey, welcome to Stock Up with Larry Jones. Hey, if you're new to the page, go ahead and hit the like, subscribe, and the notification bell. I am Larry Jones. This is the family known as Stock Up. There's a lot happening today with the Fomc meeting. Make sure you follow that prompter down there. I'm trying to keep you guys as fed as I can. I know you guys, are at work. And I'm just simply trying to keep you guys, fed while you're working so you could make some money. Everything is up nicely. We could see that the Dow is up 1.46, the S&P 2.5, NASDAQ 4%. Look at that. Those are great gains after a day like today, especially when the Fed is talking, right? So there's a lot I want to get into. Let's get right into it. So this morning, we went over pending home sales fell in June by 20% versus a year earlier, right? So we know what's happening to housing, and the same is soon to follow with jobs. There's a reason why I'm going over this. We also see that the Senate passed a bill to boost U.S. chip production and China competition, sending to the House. So it's going to the House first. It will get passed from the House. And then, of course, the president will sign this bill. And because of that, here's what's going on with a couple of the chip manufacturing companies. Look at this. NVIDIA, AMD, look at that, up 5%, 7%. Micron, 3.72%. I came live the second this came on. I was live and I fed it to you guys. If you bought any of these chip companies when I announced it, let me know if you did. Right now, I have AMD and NVIDIA in that I've had since last year. You guys know I'm big on NVIDIA, but I in my Webull I went and did a swing. I'm actually doing a swing trade. Literally, I just bought it. I'm up 3% of NVIDIA and then AMD, and I'm going to sell mine, what I just bought in my swing trade. I'm going to sell it before tomorrow. You do you. I'm going to do me. I have enough chips. This is just a swing for me. We don't know what tomorrow is going to bring as far as the GDP numbers, but your Fed, Jerome Powell, just made an announcement today, and he says he don't think we're in a recession. As a matter of fact, let me play that for you right now.
Do you believe the United States is currently in a recession? Will the GDP reading tomorrow affect that judgment one way or the other? And has your assessment of the risk of recession changed any in recent weeks?
So I do not think the U.S. is currently in a recession. And the reason is there are just too many areas of the economy that are performing, too well. And of course, I would point to the labor market in particular. As I mentioned, it's true that growth is slowing, and for reasons that we understand. Really, the growth was extraordinarily high last year, 5.5%. We would have expected growth to slow. There's also more slowing going on now. But if you look at the labor market, you've got growth. I think payroll jobs averaging 450,000 per month. That's a remarkably strong level for this state of affairs. The unemployment rate at near a 50-year low at 3.6%. All of the wage measures that we track are running very strong. So this is a very strong labor market, and it's just not consistent with 2.7 million people hired in the first half of the year. It doesn't make sense that the economy would be in recession with this kind of thing happening. So I don't think the U.S. economy is in recession right now.
We will find out tomorrow. I was surprised that he actually even answered this question because I'm just going to wait. Now, he did say that because of a strong jobs market, because of a strong labor market, he doesn't think we're in a recession. And this is a repeat of 2008. Good people, I remember it like it was yesterday. This is simply a repeat. Listen, I want to talk about the jobs market and why this statement is, I think, just a Band-Aid and not the whole, he's not painting the whole picture. So remember, we know 11 million unfilled jobs, right? Everybody that want a job right now, there's 2 jobs for you. People think that those jobs get filled and then the numbers change. That's not so. The job postings get pulled. And not only do they get pulled, there are huge layoffs. So now you got the people that reported the jobs, those jobs get pulled. So you go from 11 million to 5 million. And then those people, those big companies like these big tech companies, lay people off. So now that 5 million goes down to 2.5 million. It's just, it could happen just that fast. I'm just using that as an example. And so that happens in a season like this, in a bear market leading up to a recession. So I will tell you that there is a lot of talk preparing you for tomorrow, right? And so now a lot of people are saying, what do you think? How can I guess it? How can I play it? I can't tell you what to do. Remember, anything I say is not a suggestion to buy, hold, or sell. And also make sure you don't fall for any spam in the comment section. Never send money or crypto to anyone, even if they say they're me, it's spam. I don't do a WhatsApp, none of that crap, right? So this is what I want to tell you guys. So I'm also going to tell you that I did a little trading today in real time between this morning. I was actually trading, trying to go live, and then trying to keep you guys fed. And so here's what I did, right? There was a risky play, PGY, someone told me about, right? And I'm just going to look you in the eye and tell you, one of you guys suggested this. Don't even know what the company is, what they do. I mean, I briefly looked at it. It was a short squeeze potential and all of this. I know it was hot. It ran up something like 400%. Right now, I'm going to talk about psychology trading, right? It actually fits in good with this video. And so it's a penny stock, high risk stock, right? With the numbers coming out tomorrow, something I knew I wasn't going to hold more than a day. So what I did with it was I just took, chump change. I mean, chump change, a meal, money that you would spend on a meal. And I just wanted to see something. So pre-markets, because I used the Webull app and Moomoo, but I was doing this on my Webull. Pre-markets, I bought some, right? And 30 minutes later, by the time opening bell came, it was up 25%. So with Webull, it has a stop. So as soon as I bought it, I put a hard stop right under. And when it went up, I raised my stop limit, right? And then I put a sell order, 200% higher, right? And you got to do it. And then you also got to put good till cancel. And I'll make a video on that later, right? So low risk, no problem. If it went away, no problem, a meal, right? But when they announced about the chip, then I actually put thousands of dollars into NVIDIA and AMD, right? Now, I'm selling my NVIDIA and AMD before before tomorrow's numbers come out, the GDP numbers come out, because I don't need to assume the risk. This is teaching. I'm trying to teach some of you that don't know these strategies. So I put thousands of dollars into it. I'm up. I made some good money, and I'm about to sell it, right? So I am not going risky on a high risk stock, right? When you buy an equity, you have to manage risk. So I just wanted to put that in there for those of you that are new. And if you don't have a platform where you could trade pre and post markets, then you're missing out on some of these trades, okay? And so the Fed said we are not, he doesn't think we're in a recession. And he also said that he hasn't seen the GDP numbers, which I find hard to believe. He also raised the interest rate by 75 basis points. I'm just giving you everything he talked about in that hour. Okay. He did talk briefly about quantitative easing. You can go and check that out. But the main things is he raised the interest rate hikes by 0.75 basis points. Okay. 75 basis points or 0.75%. right? That's what he did. That was the news we broke this morning. He also does not think we're in a recession. Now, you heard it from the horse's mouth, not calling a gentleman a horse. And he said that because the next meeting is in September, right? Now, they can call an emergency FOMC meeting, but because the next one is in September, then we have all of that time to gather all of that data, and he'll make a decision then. He also said that another 75 basis points is not off the table. They're going to go according to what they think. At this point, it appears that he does not think he's going to have to go 75 basis points, but we shall see. All right. So I'm trying to keep you guys fed with as much information as possible so you can make moves and plays the way that you see. Truth be told, if you're depending on what time you're seeing this, going back to psychology trading, the reason why I went in a little heavy on NVIDIA and AMD is because a lot of people will be getting off work. They don't know about it. They're going to say, oh, this stock is going to run up, and they're going to be buying. All right. So you keep an eye on the volume, until people get home from work. It might push up. So you do what's best for you. I'm not telling you to buy it. I'm just showing you how I did the risk plays. Truth be told, had I put this much money into that penny stock, I would have made, in 30 minutes, I would have made a ton of money. But I'm about managing risk, so it wasn't wise. This AMD and NVIDIA, they're not going anywhere, so I knew my risk was low. Now, I'm selling it probably when I get through here or by the time everybody gets home and push the price up, because I have these I've had AMD for years, actually. And then NVIDIA, you guys know, was part of my $5 a day challenge. You guys know we've been accumulating that. So that should be a nice bump for those of you that's following, okay? Hopefully I said something that helped you. It's been a day. It's hard to listen to what the Fed is saying, do some trading, which I've missed a lot of money trying to keep the family fed. It's difficult juggling them all. But I try to, bring them to you in a manner. But when you get news like this, that they passed the bill, and we all know that Pelosi has the, she can see into the future. Okay, let's just put that way. She has a crystal ball. Keenan does that really well. And Keenan made a video on it yesterday. So we can give you this information. It's up to you to what you do with it, right? So we were saying, hey, we're not telling you to buy, hold, or sell, but here's what's going on. Nancy Pelosi's husband just bought a bunch of NVIDIA because they think this bill is going to pass, right? So we have to feed it to you that way, good people. I'm going to leave it right there. There's so much I want to talk about. But listen, my links below. If you don't have both, you need both. Because I forgot to tell you this. I bought that, what was that? PGY. I actually bought it in both portfolios, right? So with Webull, you do a stop loss, right? And then you do a take profit, right? And I make my take profit ridiculously high. But you have to make sure you select good until cancel if you're at work. So this is what I do sometimes. I will set my profit in my swing 20-30%. And I'm sorry, 25 to 30%. And then I set it. So if I have to go out, and for those of you that are at work, it does the work for you. But I like that it has a hard stop and a hard take profit because it protects my money from who? From me. Because most of the times when you hit a play like that and you get back in, the second time you get back in, you lose. If you've done that, good people, leave me a comment, please. Moo has what's called a trailing stop loss, right? And so if you get into a hot play and it continues to run, instead of a hard stop, because it might trigger that stop loss to sell your stock, instead of that hard stop, you could put it to 20%. So I got 25%. So if I would have set it for 20% and it just kept running, right? Here's the stock, and this is the 20% stop loss, trailing stop loss. If the stock keeps going up, And long as this doesn't trigger 20%, then it won't sell. But as soon as it turns around and come down more than 20%, then it'll trigger the sale. The reason why I use a trailing stop loss, I personally only use a trailing stop loss when I'm in profit. Because if a bull is running, I let it run. Then if it turns around and comes back at me, boom, it gets sold. And what I do is the higher the stock runs, I go from 20% to 15% to 10%. So I set that trailing stop loss to 10% the higher it gets, because I'm locking in more profits. Okay. We're going to be going over that with the Moo app at a later date. But today is Weeble Wednesday. Download them both, put $100 into both, get your free stuff. We are going to stock up and cash up. And regardless if the market goes down tomorrow or if it goes up, regardless if the GDP numbers come out low or high, we're going to continue to make money. We make money regardless of the market. All right, good people. Hey, I love you guys. Make sure you check out my links below in the description. If you're on a cell phone, just tap where the heading is and it'll drop down and you'll see those links. We'll see you later. Live, love, laugh, and learn.